Afternoon. The fish nods affably. He swings his catch over his shoulder, grunting with effort. Got a big un today. Gonna eat it while it's fresh. They're welcome to join me. There's plenty to go around. He climbs off the jetty and lays the body on a large rock. He works with practiced efficiency. To remove the shirt, the fish cradles the body in his arms. When he removes the man's trousers and underwear, the gesture he uses to lift the corpse's hips is almost intimate. It seems the fish is taking care to not cause bruising. The fish trims the man's hair, head, chest, groin, even legs. Then, he stabs the knife into the man's chest, leaning hard to force it open. The bones part with a crack. Fish guts the corpse and tosses away the offal. You gonna help me get it on the fire? You prop the body up while the fish skewers it on a rough spear. The corpse sags in your arms like a drunk. Together, you lay the body over a pit of hot coals. Its flesh sizzles. There's a sharp, sour smell, swiftly overwhelmed by the odors of cooked fat. The fish chuckles. It'll burn off. What's left is delicious, especially this fresh. Hadn't stopped kicking when I caught it. He turns the roasting body over. Fancy a bite? As you will. The fish shrugs and slices a piece of thigh onto a large tin plate. The smell is salty, savory, tantalizing. Your mouth fills with saliva. I'm not offering twice. It's too good for that. The fish speaks with his mouth full and does not look up. He's seen better days. Hard times all over, the bull says archly, with what seems to you an aristocratic air. Its blood, still fresh, pools around your feet. You dip a finger in. Yes, go on, sighs the bull. Why not? It soaks through your skin as if you were made of tissue, and it strikes you all of a sudden that you've never felt this good in your life. Sensing your astonishment, the bull just rolls its eyes. Beside this lonely campfire, a familiar, magnificent black horse rears at your presence. A familiar old Stetson-hatted cowboy calms him. "Easy, boy," Bill says. He turns his attention to you. "Sorry, he startles around strangers. I guess he's like me. You want to give him an apple?" The horse snorts as you approach. Easy, easy, Bill says again, his voice low and soothing. The horse eyes you warily, but lowers its head to your palm and begins to eat. The cowboy nods as he lifts a tin pot from the flames. You want a cup of coffee, stranger? Don't get company much, but I try to be hospitable. West's changed. Folks still need each other. A rattlesnake unwinds from his neck and slithers down his arm. Oh, don't worry, he won't bite. There's no animal I can't tame. People, though. He trails off, stares into the fire.
Estos son los que me enterrarán, que me entierran.
They sheepishly, how else, approach the edge of the water and lap at it, a moving cloud stalking the plain on stocky legs. It's a huge flock, and for a long time you see no shepherd, until a figure on a horse crests over a ridge in the hilly terrain. He rides a white horse. No, a pale horse. No, actually, a horse the sickly green color of an ashen corpse. And he's a gaunt figure clothed in a ragged cloak. But in spite of that, he seems in good spirits.
Aren't they beautiful? My flock, bigger than it has been in centuries.
He stalks through the mass of beasts, their soft bodies instinctively giving way to the spindly legs of his mount.
Oh, there it goes.
He points with one emaciated toe at a black ram moving through the flock.
The soul of an evil man. One of the worst.
It looks pretty harmless, but then again, you suppose we're all pretty harmless in death.
A Spanish fascist. He planned on fleeing to America should the war not turn out his way. His side might win the war yet, but a Lincoln Battalion bullet caught up with him first.
He cracks a sardonic grin that makes you queasy.
I thought I'd take the flock to graze here, so he could see the land that loaded the gun.
Right from Tulsa, the riders still in tow. They were dressed in white from toe to tip, pale horses trod below. And last among their number, a chilling sight to see. The 13th horse lay empty, with a saddle meant for me. White rider, ain't fixin' for to join your faded line. White rider.
A Chevy sedan laden with suitcases chugs to a stop beside you. A woman leans out the window. An infant screaming, and two boys are punching each other in the back seat.
Could you drive us for a while? I gotta feed the baby, but we need to keep moving. I could pay you.
You grip the wheel tight as sounds of chaos fill the car. The boys have begun to wrestle in earnest on the Chevy's bench.
Your Honor!
Their mother hisses. Both boys straighten instantly. In the mirror, you see their stricken expressions. The only sound is the baby's soft suckling. You direct the question to the boys in the back, but they don't make a sound. Their eyes are wide and frightened. Patting the infant on the back, their mother chuckles. The boys don't speak another word, even when you part ways down the road.
Son, I think the time has come to saddle up and ride. White rider, well, day will come, we all will join that line. White rider.
They've taken over a booth at the roadside diner. Tables strewn with papers and forms. He's in shirt sleeves, revolver hanging loosely off his chest. She's in a moss-green dress from 2 seasons ago and a felt hat that's begun to warp. You slip into the booth next to him. "Tell me again where you saw him last?" he asks.
He was in the car with me. We were just driving down the road.
"So where did you stop the car?" he asks. She sounds exasperated.
I told you, I never did.
They have the same accent, same drawl from somewhere in North Texas or Oklahoma. But his is subtler, although he's been trying to shake it for a few years. You try not to disturb them, but in truth, they barely know you're there.
We were going 40 miles an hour when he vanished. All I saw were those damned lights.
In the lingering, baffled silence that follows, you find your cue to leave. An excitable man in dirty suspenders waves you over to a cave mouth.
Pardner, do me a favor, friend. Can you, inspect that cave there? Got 2 bits with your name on them.
The cave interior is nice and cool. There's a whole bear hide, treated and tanned, lying on the ground. Would be a good spot to rest for a time, if not for the human skeleton. Back of the skull has a hole about the size of a quarter. You find a slip of journal paper inside the mouth. Normal bones, which Floyd the respectable prospector ain't touched nor seen much, merely stumbled upon during honest business. The man jumps out of his suspenders when he notices your return.
Friend! Oh, gave me an awful scare, making me think you got lost in there. Hey, you see those bones? How do you think that fella croaked?
The man cups your hands and screams in rapture.
My sly friend, you didn't tell me you're a detective. I'd have never deduced that in a million years. Lord in heaven, I'm blessed. Blessed!
After he pulls back, you feel something inside your hands. It's a shiny silver coin. Great. The railway was a fast route between 2 towns, but the oil which promised to make each town rich was never there. The track died fast. The citizens, like the bird, survive on pickings. The vulture gouges at a cow's jawbone, a piece of paper trapped under the skull. Your motion disturbs the bird, takes off with an air of disdain. The buffalo is long dead. There was no meat left. It lands again, not far across the track. The note tears as you pull it free. I can't wait longer. Ran out of food. Mary, I can't wait longer. Ran out of food, so had to hunt. I hate it. I said we'd leave for a new life, but not one like this. Guess you've changed your mind. If you still want to marry me, I'm going north. I love you. The rider did not make it far. Some 200 yards across the track is a body on its back. It stinks. Marks in the dirt indicate someone tried to move it. Its arms are folded over its chest. A once white handkerchief has been used to cover the man's face. The clothes at the front are bloody and torn where they've been pecked by birds. There's no obvious wound that hasn't been inflicted after death. When you roll it over with your foot, the killing blow is obvious. A shotgun blast to the back at short range. Little remains of the Alamo. Just a chapel and some barracks. The inside of the chapel seems off, like a space that is both ruin and restored relic, unsure if it should crumble or sparkle. The rumbling of cars outside is undeterred by the shaky adobe walls. You come across a well, a squat square made of stone, hidden beneath a large, crooked oak tree. And on it sits a dejected man, eyes downcast, face hidden by a broad-brimmed hat, and clothes so thickly coated with dust that you can't make out their style or color. He looks up at you, and you get a better look at his face. Sun-beaten, several days unshaven, and body. Though he smells strongly of black powder, a single sharp hole punctures his torso. From there, blood oozes down, and smoke wafts up. No, it's too late for me. He bats your hand away. His is clammy and cold, even in the hot, dry air. It's a long time before he musters the strength to say anything more. I marched out here following some rich man from New Orleans. He makes a hollow noise like he's trying to laugh, but has forgotten how. For this. A heavily worn boot scratches a line in the dusty ground. For land. For the dirt of this place. I was promised. But instead of speaking, he just slumps forward, bent like a reed. There's a rustling in this cactus patch. Down where the spiny paddles disappear into the sand, something is writhing around. At first, you think it's an antelope, perhaps, fallen among the thorns. Oh, fuck. That shrunken human skull whips around to stare at you. And those hands, God, like talons. They scrabble in the dirt. Before you know it, you're flat on your ass 20 feet away. The nude, withered corpse continues peeling himself out of his shallow grave.
"Help me,"
he shouts.
"Damn cactus grew on my coffin."
His fingers are so slight and delicate that you can scarcely believe your tugging doesn't rip them clear off. Soon he's free, but too fragile to stand.
"Fuck this,"
he rasps. He buries his head in his hands, his skull hitting his palms with a papery slap.
"I've been cursed 2 times. Once to live forever, but the second time to die. How'd you think the 2 magics fought it out, huh? I'm dead for sure, and certainly alive."
His tongue scrapes along his teeth like a dried thorn.
"Keep trying to kill myself? Tried getting shot."
He points to the ragged constellation of holes in the side of his head.
"Paid someone to chop my head off, but he chickened out. Maybe I can grind myself up and I'll just be some kind of thinking dust? Yeah, wouldn't mind that."
He's clearly delighted. He extends one leg like a dry stick of wood.
"Got a knife? No? Rub a stone on it or something."
You oblige, gripping his ankle in one hand and going to town on his toe tips with a sharp rock in the other. You continue for a few minutes in complete silence.
"Please stop."
He finally blurts.
"God, this isn't gonna work. I'll forget it. I'll just figure it out myself. Thanks."
He shrugs, an uneven jerk, ending with a crack as the tight skin along his shoulder splits.
"Say, how far to the nearest combine harvester? Think I can get there if I roll up like a hoop snake and let the wind push me?" "Damn. Well, take a hint from me, which is, don't fuck with a witch or any kind of anybody who does witch stuff."
You beat it toward the horizon, glad that you didn't have to compare curses with him. The steady spin of the lasso is hypnotic.
Help me out here,
Says the man.
I've been hunting this horse a long time. Extra pair of hands to make sure she doesn't get the better of me. She belonged to someone who wronged me. Butch slipped out of this world before I could square things between us, but damn did he love this horse.
He grins.
If she bucks real hard, haul on the rope. Buy me some time. He's dead. His old crew, though, they're still around. They'll bust a gasket when they see me ride in on his horse.
His hand hovers over the handle of his knife.
And then,
He grins.
let's get this done.
He ignores you or doesn't hear. The lasso loops around the horse's neck on the first throw. The rope's in your hands before you realize he's put it there. He slips smoothly onto her back and grips with his knees. She fights, though, bucking hard enough to jar him loose. He slips, tumbling into the dirt, and narrowly avoids being trampled under her heels. The man rolls to his feet, pulling the knife.
Fucking hell! You stupid or just got a death wish?
It's time to run. There's a wallet on the ground where the alley joins the street, stuffed with bills. You pick it up and glance around, spotting a man on his hands and knees in the alley.
Excuse me, I appear to have lost my glasses.
He sheepishly admits. They're on the ground just behind him. You snag him before he crushes them with an errant knee.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He scans the alley.
You, didn't find my wallet, too, did you?
His face lights up.
Oh, thank you.
He turns, then hesitates.
You know, I had a ticket to see the new movie at the plaza. Not in the mood after this. Please, take it. For your help.
Your seat is plush and comfortable. The crowd chats excitably around you. You settle in for the movie. The first few scenes play out fairly predictably. It appears to be a romantic comedy about golf. The crowd seems largely disinterested, their prior enthusiasm muted. Abruptly, the scene shifts from the dancing and grand ceremony to a shot of a grubby alley. People start sitting up in their seats. It takes you a second to realize you're looking at yourself. You stoop to pick up the wallet, then see the man. The crowd grows tense as you hand him his glasses. The audience cheers as you hand over the wallet. The applause spreads like a brush fire. People start leaping to their feet, turning to look at you. Their approbation continues for far longer than is comfortable.